Oh, before I even get started, okay, let me get my mind right, y'all. I'm not gonna be here long, okay? I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time, okay? That being said, though, it just been a minute since I had my wine. Okay, so every time, hey, Captain Crunch, look, I'm on here late. I'm doing readings. I'm doing readings, and I mean, don't be on here late because I know that the freaks come out at night on TikTok or what. So I'm not here for the shenanigans. However, if y'all show up in my live on some goofy shit, you might as well just be throwing your money. Throw your money, throw some gifts out there, okay? And then maybe I'll think about it. I'll think about the shenanigans. But that's not a guarantee that I will even respond to you, especially if you don't come correct. So that being said, yeah, I'm doing readings. Today is Wednesday. And even though, like, I don't know. I do know that I have put off too much today. Although still glowing, I'm still flowing. Y'all, really my main focus is this week is my paper and my ebook, which is coming along very beautifully, if I do say so myself, right? Because when I started lives, even now, because I continue to hold on to like this philosophy as I do my lives every single day. A lot of the times my topics will be centered around witchcraft, witch activity, spirituality in that regard, as far as it pertaining to magic, the multiverse, things that I uncover through my visions, through clairvoyance, claircognizance, whatever you want to call it. And me creating a book on the foundations of magic for those who are curious and or already start a journey in the witch community, because my goal is to create a community full of, be it new, curious, and or OG witches or practitioners of magic. And within doing so, I feel like the book that I am creating that will be ready on Friday will be extremely beneficial to the community as far as like so many things, so many basic informational things as far as how to view your herbs and your workings. Of course, the given is to assign them a role, but in what tense do you do that, right? I feel like a lot of the time, especially in my beginning journey of studying witchcraft, especially learning the basics, not enough people talk about present tense and how powerful it is and why it governs your past and your future, right? You have to speak over your herbs as if the identity of it is you in present tense. And also, when it comes to the shadow self, the light self, and the higher self, right? What exactly are those things? And what does it have to do with magic? It literally has everything to do with magic, right? Because your shadow self and your light self in tandem create your authentic self, right? And that authentic self is directed by your higher self, which is your most high self, which is your God-like self, right? That guides you in your authentic state, be it your light or your shadow self, right? Because you have to pay respects to both because they are you. Because that is what makes you whole. That is what makes you one. The yin and the yang, right? You cannot abandon one because you don't you don't like it or it's not palatable to other people, right? You embrace it fully, just like you embrace your light self fully. So I really love the fact I even took the fucking time to make a book, bitch. Like, not many people is out here doing that. So that is my contribution to the magic community. You're welcome. Okay, it took a lot of effort, especially on top of the other things, a plethora of fucking things that I do in a day. Bitch got me out here on my last bottle of wine just to make sure I stay up to get all this work done. But it's okay because I'm making another batch and y'all's going to be very happy because I'm leaving the ingredients and step-by-step instructions on how to make my self-love honey wine. However, my new honey wine is the money honey wine, which I have titled Bitch I'm Rich as Shit. Okay, and I'm definitely going to do a post on step by step. I was going to, actually I've done a live on the step by step method of making the self-love honey wine. Some people showed up for that, which is great. I definitely have the recording of it, but since I put it in my book, I feel like I should make that exclusive as fuck, which I am. But anyway, I am going to share my Bitch I'm Rich as Fuck money honey wine with those who are interested in taking on mentorship by me. That is also a bonus with the luxury package that comes with my ebook. So, I mean, you're vibing with your girl, you're vibing with your goddess, then I mean, we can be cool, whatever. And I don't see like my mentorship as like you're strictly learning from me, which you are. But I mean, I like relationships. I see them as something that I too can learn from. So yes, I'm definitely, probably, most likely going to be on your ass with your studies and understanding, overstanding the concepts and details within the book, darling. Okay. However, magic is a journey, just like everything else in life. Okay. So don't be so hard on yourself. And I'm definitely going to tell all of my students that, all of my mentees that, during our sessions. Bitch, I'm still not perfect, okay, witch? But I'm authentic as fuck, and I love that about me. So that being said, let me refill my glass first. And then we can get into this reading, witch, because it's Wednesday, and that's what I do on Wednesdays. Like, I definitely love the system that I have as far as, like, my structure for what I talk about during my lives every day. I definitely need that. Hey, boo. I feel like I keep seeing this J. But, I mean, I see your picture. Jerry Boo Boo. That's so cute. But yeah, hey everybody that's coming into the live. Okay, I'm finna do my readings. I definitely just have to give acknowledgement to my journey so far and where we're gonna be fucking headed after Friday, bitch, when my ebook drop. Okay, link in the motherfucking bio. I'm getting closer to 1,000, and at that time I'm super excited because of the fact that it'll be way easier for y'all to actually actively go to my link instead of those who have had to copy and paste the link in my bio. This time when you click it, it'll actually take you to the fucking page. But I definitely still give a shout out to all of y'all who take the time out to copy and paste the link in my bio to get a reading, to inquire about books and anything else that I have in my services that I provide. So shout out to y'all. Okay. You definitely are the ones who aren't energetically challenged. We don't like the word lazy around here. Shit, sometimes we gotta manage our energy properly according to what we got going on in our lives, and I respect that. Okay, which is why I'm open to making shit easier for y'all. However, you know, I have to put in the work to do that, which I've been doing. So shout out to me. Anywho, I always start my readings with my original deck. Okay, bitch, not my shit falling. Hold on. Haha. Okay. Good thing that I kept extra. Okay. Part of the extraness. And it's because I'm bumping into you. My fault, baby. My fault, baby. Not me bumping into you. Girl, you won't have to stick in there for the rest of this ride, boo-boo, because once I get going with this wine, bitch, I'm going to be even more active. Bitch, and I'm only on my motherfucking first glass, bitch. My second glass? 1.5. Anywho, what's up with this little shadow part right here? What is this? Oh, y'all, I'm still learning about all of these features. Share your life with others. Sharing it your life with others can be a clever way to attract more viewers. Oh, is that so? Oh, well, swipe left to close. Oh, some new joint. Well, hello, doll. Yeah, I was trying to like close this, but it's not closing all the way. You know what, bitch? I'm not even gonna. Anyway, I like to start my life cause I know it. Cause I know it. Look, one thing that readers will not tell y'all is that a lot of the times when they're doing their readings, not all the time, okay? Not all the time, because I definitely respect those practitioners that do their own readings separately before they pick up their cards. But a lot of the times we don't do that because, yes, when we're channeling through these cards, sometimes the messages for ourselves will pop up, but it might also resonate with somebody else, which is very important because you won't hear what you meant to hear. Now, that being said, I love starting with this deck. This is the very first tarot deck that I've ever worked with, and that's simply because I made it myself. It's from a deck of playing cards, and you know, if you on here on TikTok, I'm pretty sure TikTok be selling playing cards on here, like deck of cards, motherfucking goldfish cards, bitch, spades cards, whatever you want to call them. They got playing cards on here. Just go ahead, get you some. And you can either make them traditional tarot card decks where you have, you know, the hearts as the cups. What else? I believe this is the spade. The spade as the sword. The diamond as the pentacles. And the clove as the wand. Okay? Bitch. Hi yourself. You are so smart. You are so smart. Channeling through me because, bitch, I be like, I don't really know shit for real. But as soon as I like just calm down and relax, the information just be coming, just be flowing, just be going straight through me, and I love that. But y'all, when I do my motherfucking readings for myself, I always be getting some good shit. But yeah, a lot of the times readers will not tell you, practitioners, those who are able to use divinity through channeling through tarot cards, will not tell you that sometimes when they be doing their readings, they really be channeling themselves. They really be channeling themselves. However, because we are all one, we are all connected, you might resonate with their message, which is a beautiful thing. So if you're going to resonate with me and my message today, because it's Wednesday and I do readings on Wednesday. Girl, you is fin to, not even just that, I feel like I'm going to be channeling everybody that pop up in here. Hey, boo. Amy G, what's happening? How you doing tonight? Ooh. Okay, who am I channeling today? I feel like right now, I would say honestly, in the world, there is not enough of us using our discernment. There is not enough of us trusting our intuition. And there is also not enough of us truly understanding what intuition is, what that knowing is, right? Because 9 times out of 10, it will manifest as just a feeling and or phrase that you literally have nothing to back it up with, right? You feel like you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't believe what this person is saying, that person is saying. You can't explain why. You don't have no book to reference it, to justify the feeling, but it's there. And because of that, right now, more than ever, it is extremely important to just believe in yourself and trust that feeling. I'm trying to tell y'all something good. I already did my personal reading. Boom. I'm the shit. I am a goddess. I'm a motherfucking powerful ass being. And I know it, okay? What come out this deck today, well, these 3 decks will definitely be for the collective. Probably somebody who showed up in here didn't bother staying. Don't trust them. Okay, look. For entertainment purposes only, TikTok, we friends. Okay, we love each other. Okay, and I'm here for the shenanigans, for the shits and giggles. Okay, that being said, okay, that being said, when I tell y'all that a lot of news reports, allegedly, and scientists, allegedly, pastors, allegedly, is going to start coming out telling y'all a whole bunch of it in the third. Y'all trust them if you want to. It will be a reflection of you having a low spiritual ranking. Okay? Because like I just said, a lot of you are not utilizing your divine intuition, which is why it was imperative for me to create this book. You need to really understand the divinity that they have, the intuition that they have, what intuition truly is, because a lot of y'all be feeling like you should do this or like you should stay with that person, but really that should really be out of desperation. If it's given desperation, if it's giving survival mode, that's not your intuition, love. It's not. If it is coming from a place where you're the only one feeling it, or one of very few feeling it, thinking it, that's intuition. It is the voice of the few, not the voice of the many. Because the voice of the many will try to drown out your divine knowing. They'll be like, oh, well, where your facts, where your receipts? Bitch, I am the receipt. This witch is quite literally the receipt. Okay, because we're going on a journey. We're going on a journey. And when I tell you the road's finna get bumpy as shit, if y'all choose to trust what the mainstream is finna start feeding y'all, okay, I know the words is backwards, bitch, but pay attention. It say don't trust them in low ranking. Y'all's divine intuition, y'all divine knowing. I know for a fact that trusting it boosts your spiritual power, your spiritual ranking. It increases when you have faith or pledge the allegiance, giving trust to your divine knowing, which is the information that is coming from your higher self. The more you trust it, instead of trusting everything outside of you, that increases your spiritual power. That allows you access to more divine information. The less you trust it and trust in it, the lower your ranking is. It's like that saying, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. But the thing about it is, you can't lose something that you were born with. It lessens, right? It's like you go exercise and you build up body muscle, right? But you stop. You went from doing it consistently, regularly for months, and then you just stop out of nowhere. That muscle tissue dwindles. It weakens. It lowers in rank. You become weaker. Excuse me while I take a sip. But if you consistently strengthen the muscle, it becomes stronger. It becomes more powerful. I'm trying to tell y'all, the journey ahead is quite literally finna get real interesting. And the less y'all trust your divine intuition, ooh, girl, cause I know it is. Wealth and abundance. And I'm not talking about in forms of money. I'm talking about in forms of safety. I'm talking about in forms of longevity. It's guaranteed to you. How many of y'all trusted your instinct when the whole thing about the certain mandatory needle application, we'll call it that, the certain mandatory needle application into people's bodies, right, was going around? How many of you trusted your instinct? It was just something about it. He was like, nah, I can't do that. No, absolutely not. And you stood on that shit 10 toes down. Didn't give a fuck about what your job said, what your mama said, what your daddy said, what your spouse said. You ain't get no fucks about it. You didn't have any definitive proof that you shouldn't go along with the rest of the masses that was getting it. You shouldn't go along with what Dr. Fauci was saying. When that nigga is not a physician. He is not a practicing physician. What Cat Williams said, that nigga is not your doctor. But even then, him in the medical institution was instructing y'all's doctors to go, yes, this is what they need. Convince them they need to take this. How many of y'all trust your instinct and was like, nah, I can't do this? If you did, I promise you your spiritual intuition increased. Because what happened after that? What happened 2 years after that? That nigga had to go to court. A lot of the information that you was like, something ain't right about this. A lot of people felt that way and had evidence to back it up. Why? They was like, something's not right here. Ooh, girl. Time tells all. Because it does. It most absolutely does. I know for a fact this is a motherfucking mass reading today. Time tells all. When I tell y'all, those of you who trusted your divine intuition and had just a handful of outside confirmation that those individuals from the so-called conspiracy theory community that popped up on your timeline every now and again with their personal or private research saying, yeah, we don't be messing with this, okay? Don't be messing with these suspicious substances and these mandatory needles, okay? These mandatory needle poppers, okay? How many of y'all had that happen? Just to have almost everything else in your personal environment try to drown just those couple of confirmations out. Yeah, but everybody else is doing it. Well, if you don't do it, you might lose your job. Well, if this, that, and that, your kids might have to not go to school no more. The cycle continues. The cycle continues. Because right now, very soon, you're going to have to say no again. You're going to have to scream no again. You're going to have to stand 10 toes down on your no yet again. No, I ain't doing it. No, I don't believe what you're talking about. I don't subscribe to what you're talking about. Because when I tell y'all, they finna try to tell you that humanity was created by this being or that being. There is a reason why a lot of women has been called to practice magic at this very day and age, at this very time, this moment in time. And it is because only through practicing magic and connecting with Earth do you gain the information, the revelation of the true past. That Earth is an entity that has given birth to its own, we can call them chosen people. And again, I'm not saying chosen people to align a certain skin complexion or anything like that. I'm saying that these individuals were special and unique, however, organic and very common to this realm, to this plane of existence, this planet that y'all so very much like to call it. But this is a realm. This is a dimension, as there are many others. And Mother Earth created her own children that were very humanoid, very intelligent, to the point where they build dynasties. You got kingdoms, and then you got dynasties. Dynasties last far longer than kingdoms, I'll tell you that much. Look it up. Look it up. A dynasty is something that is engraved in the bones of the land that it dwells upon. Case in point, you can try to destroy it with nukes and high-tech weaponry. It might look destroyed on the outside, but again, it's engraved in the bones of the planet that we are on, of the plane of existence that it is built upon. Which means on the outside, it might look destroyed. But if you happen to find your way inside, the structures are strong and well preserved. Like this beautiful wine that I create. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. I love it so much. Dynasties. Don't you love how the word dynasty starts with the D-I or D-Y sound? Just like divine. Dynasty. Divine. I feel like they go hand in hand. So yes, y'all are going to have to say no quite soon. Because those of us who started practicing magic, we know that our mother created the magic that we use here on this earth. She taught her children. Her children taught visitors that came here, and those visitors took that shit and just... they made it something so diabolical, but necessary for them in order for them to stay here. Because we was like, bitch, you was a visitor and you needs to go home. Like now, because you was not a good visitor. You was not a good visitor. You was not a good guest. Because guests don't come up in your house and fuck up your furniture. Mess with the residents of the home. Because you got the home, you got the home's residents, and then you got guests. Right? The residents of that home, or the true heirs of the home. Because you know, when you have property, right? The heirs within that family tree. Oh, excuse me, my wine is digesting. The heirs within that family tree will receive the assets, which is that home and that property, when they become of age. So you messing with the heirs on some creep stuff. You're not being a good guest. And because you're not being a good guest, you got to leave. They were kicked out plenty of times before. Because the world is yours. And I know it. And I know it. But do you know that? Look. So much time has passed and so many things have happened. And the beautiful thing about Mother Earth is that her children are her children. No matter what form you've developed over said time, right? Because we've all changed. Technically, we're all hybrids. Every single last one of us. Yes, some of us have, you know, a higher concentration of certain genetics than others. But we all hybrids. Girl, because I know, my spiritual rankings stay increasing. Anywho, look, time is going to tell all. Time is going to tell all. And I'm going to keep telling my truth And I'm not going to turn blue in the face about it, because those who understand, those who resonate with it, they will get it. Those who don't, they won't. But all I'm saying is, don't come looking for my ass talking about some Michaela, you was a prophet. Bitch, I did not claim shit. I'm just able to listen to my discernment and put the pieces of the puzzles together, which literally anyone can do. Literally anyone can do. Each family tree has to have an oracle. Has to have a high priestess. Each family tree has to have one. Mother has made it so. That way, each family tree can divinely govern themselves to a life of prosperity, as long as they listen to the one who is spiritually inclined to give the message. If their spiritual ranking is high, if it increases on a regular because they trust their divine knowing and actually apply it to their lives, then they were ordained to give the message. Will the rest of the family listen? Well, shit, that's up to them. And since we are all one, I'm talking to my family here. Y'all part of the fam. This is supposed to be the golden age. This is supposed to be the time in which the shift of abundance or the shift of wealth is supposed to transfer in the hands of those who are organic to this realm, not only to this land, because like I mentioned, we've gone through so many genetic changes, every single person. So how can we go, oh, you know, my forefathers, my foremothers are organic to this land or that land? We can go that route, but eventually, once everyone is placed back to where they're supposed to, technically, hypothetically supposed to be, then what? Are we going to stay to ourselves? That's not what Mother is going to want, because she made this entire realm and all of her children interacted with one another in our golden age. In our very first golden age, which we had multiple, but the only time we had dark ages is when we were in times of invasion, right? When that portal opened up and dark, low, I'm not even going to say low vibrational, low frequency, low-minded entities came through and tried to push their patriarchal identities upon the land that they are not from. Allegedly. Gotta throw that in there. They do this on a regular basis because they like it here. It's like you that one gorgeous ass motherfucker in your group or just in your life in general. And no matter where you go, motherfuckers just want to be around you. Motherfuckers just want to sit in your personal space. And you be like, nah, I don't feel good around you. Or you make me feel weird. Or you stink. Get the fuck up out of here. And they just insist. They insist. Like, what you need to be all like that? You doing too much. Oh, am I? I have a certain standard. Bitch, I'm at home, I'm comfortable. Even then, I still have a certain standard. If I say get out my space, get out my space. Ooh-wee. Y'all, we finna get deep as shit in here. Look. That's enough. That's enough. Yes, I already know that. Y'all, these cards, if these cards could talk, girl, they would be just like me because, bitch, I be rambling. Which I be rambling. But I already know how TikTok be feeling when I really, really get into depth about this conversation or this topic. Because I know I'm right. Anytime you're on these platforms and you be talking about something that they literally do not want the masses to know or to even get close to knowing, like, cause you could drop some breadcrumbs every now and again. They'll tolerate some breadcrumbs, but if you put a slice of the bread on the table, they're like, hold up, bitch. You giving the slices, but you gonna give the whole loaf next? Look. Y'all use y'all discernment, please. Please, 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 pretty, pretty, please. Because now that y'all know that resets are an actual thing, and a lot of you, not all of you, a lot of you that know about resets now, know that they come at a time where a lot of people are starting to naturally gain the information through intuition, through divine knowing, through nature, through your higher self, which is your natural state, which is the self that is most connected to earth, to the realm, to mother, to the ethers, if I must say. That is when they start trying their best to recenter and shift the topic away from that. Away from that. Y'all really need to start loving yourselves. I mean, like, real romantic love for yourself. Not anyone else. Not anyone else, but for yourself. Be able to show up no matter what the fuck state you're in. And love yourself regardless. Now, girl, because when I promise you, perspective is so key at this time, at this very sensitive and delicate time, okay? Perspective is key. Otherwise, I really don't know how y'all gonna get. I really don't know. Like, okay, so a lot of you know that these resets happen around the time when a lot of us are starting to gain the knowledge and information of the realm in which we are in which we exist in currently, through their higher selves, through their divine knowing, intuition, when they tap into the ethers. And you know what happens, right? All of these books and or tablets, they were created to change the narrative and spread that narrative far and wide at the time in which it was created. A lot of people like to make reference that, oh, the Bible was based on the Book of the Dead, and the Book of the Dead was based on the Sumerian tablets, and the Sumerian tablets was based on what? What was before that? The point that I'm making is that when you have the level of divine intuition and divine knowing, you just know shit. What you need a book for? What you need a book for? When everyone else around you also shares that exact same gift, because we're all children of Mother, and Mother has granted us with the gifts and or tools needed to properly govern ourselves here in this world that she is a guardian of, and the creator of. Y'all are not going to find salvation from any entity that admits that it is not from this realm. I don't care if they want to preach to their blue, red, purple, scaly as fuck in the face, saying that I was here first. I got here first. I was the first visitor here. Therefore, I have ownership over this realm. First of all, you can't claim nothing that you ain't from. You don't rep this set, homie. Because you ain't from here. You was not from the earth. You was not from the soil. You was not from the roots. You just showed up here. And within showing up here, you stole the genetic coding of the original inhabitants of this realm and decided to make some whole new shit. Again, time tells all. And because so much has happened, that Mother Earth, she can't really do shit about it, but she can still recognize her children. As much as they have changed genetically, they are still her children. Just like in that motherfucking latest episode or movie genre of Avatar, right? She recognized that the genetic coding of the hybrid, what's it called? Nahi or Navi, the Navi people, they were of the original or organic Navi or original Earthlings, and also of the invaders, those from the sky down to earth came, the sky people, the people from the heavens, into this new creation, but was still granted the gift of divine discernment, of divine intuition. She can still tap in with Mother Earth. or Mother Yahweh. So, as long as she respects her mother, in which one side of her genetics is from, and she's still dwelling upon, mother acknowledge and respects you in return. You need me, I'm here, boo. In all of my unconditional love. What's up? Oh, they fucking with you? I got you. I'll send all of my creations after them. I'll send the winds. I'll send the waters. I'll send the birds, the fish. Haven't y'all noticed them moving? I mean, it's cute to be repeating something you've heard floating around in the conspiracy theory community or the spiritual community. But try to sit and meditate with that same saying. You know, the movie Avatar is actually a documentary. Is that so? Well, I find it interesting that the same people who say that are still waiting for the Anunnaki to come to Earth and save them from the government. I find that so interesting. Anunnaki, the phrase that means those from the heaven down to earth came. But y'all can't drive a connection between them and the so-called humans from the movie Avatar. It's mind-blowing. Honestly. I love a puzzle. I love a puzzle. And I'm not delusional. Right? Because if a puzzle fits, if the puzzle piece fits here, I'm not going to go, wait, I don't want those to fit. I don't want to make the connection between this and this. I'm going to keep this over there. But I like this piece and I like this piece. I just don't like them together. I don't want that. You don't want that. When y'all stop forming your identity and the abundance of your identity around how you look instead of what you are on the inside, you guys will be able to shed this notion that anything outside of you, even if it looks like you, will come here to save you. Because all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And 9 times out of 10, I found, as my personal experience, those who don't match my shade of skin that I'm in, right, this vessel, they might not match the shade, but they definitely match the resonance of my soul, and that is all that matters. And I still love myself. I still love my vessel, but I know that I am not this vessel. This vessel is just what I'm in to enjoy the ride of the journey. But I don't shape my entire identity around it. I love it, but it is not all that I am. And when I came to that realization, I almost found myself being disappointed in so many of the other older members of the spiritual community or the conspiracy community or even the ET community. Because a lot of them still compartmentalize lunar from melanin. And my thing is, why aren't we at the very least compartmentalizing RH negative and RH positive? Why are we compartmentalizing individuals from their blood type? Because blood type tells a lot. And this is just hypothetical. If the original blood type of planet Earth, right, what I like to consider the originals of Earth, Mother Earth's organic children, had the blood type O. Let's say O for original or whatever. And you found out the same individuals you consider as lunars or Caucasians or whatever have O blood type. What's your excuse then? Oh, you got O, certain shade, color, and this and that. This girl. Bye, you. The one same individuals that continue to move the goalposts when it does not conveniently fit the narrative that you're trying to push. I mean, and if that's what y'all going for, okay, boo-boo, do you. What I'm trying to explain to people is that it's not that deep. It was never that deep. If you knew that the first inhabitants of this earth skin tone was not brown, but it was blue or green, then y'all asses will start paying attention to people's blood vessel colors. Did you know that some people have blue veins and then some people have green veins? Isn't that interesting? I think that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. But within this discernment, okay, and I'm actually draw my conclusion because I draw this one more card here. Y'all have to be brave enough to be the Page of Swords, okay? Because your voice and your opinion and your belief is definitely gonna matter. Ooh, girl, y'all gotta be able to be naked out here in public. Not literally, but figuratively, okay? Because I know for a fact what I take. I'm gonna put a cap on that now because I clearly have had too much to drink. Good thing everybody is asleep. What I am saying is not a popular belief. It's definitely controversial. And I get it. When I first started in my journey, I was one of those who believed that melanin and the lack thereof was a separation. And I am grateful to my ability to change and grow. Because in order to change, you definitely grow. And I feel like my growth was for the better. Because when y'all stay within these groups, within these confined ideologies. Oh, girl, because divine lineage. We not finna get in all of that, look. It is also a pattern of stagnation. And if you're stagnant, there is no growth. Again, I'm glad, even as a witch, I'm still changing. I'm still changing. I'm still developing. I used to think that with my workings, with my root workings, the best way to speed up the accuracy and the manifestation of my spells and or rituals was to use coffee, because I mean, within the community, it is a common tool that everyone uses, and everyone knows that if you want to speed up your work, use coffee. Use coffee grounds. But within my practices, because I am constantly being conscious and aware of everything, as which it should be, and because I constantly grow and learn, I have personally experienced that if I want my workings to be quick, like I see that shit the very next day, I feel it the very next day, I'm going to use cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper over fucking coffee grounds every day. All day, every day. And it's because of this. What I've learned while I study herbs is that the symbolism, right, the nature of the herb has a lot to do with its identity, right? Because if you was to taste coffee, right? You taste coffee, you drink coffee, are you going to feel the effects of it instantly? No. You'll feel it in a couple of minutes, maybe an hour. But you will feel it, right? Once it kicks in, you'll get the going, shit will be moving quickly, and then it crashes, and it goes away. You taste that shit. Ooh, bitch, hot. It only takes a couple of seconds, and that's the urgency I need in my work. That is the urgency I want and I need in my work. You're welcome. Okay? Coffee is common, but not many people. You should give respect to the fiery elements. Fire is instantaneous. That's what you want. Cayenne pepper is good for that. Ginger is good for that. And the thing about cayenne pepper is it gets the blood going. It gets shit moving quickly, but you don't crash afterwards like with the caffeine in coffee. Shit kick up instantly. It's high. It's active. And then slowly but surely things start to mellow out. Slowly but surely. It's not a fucking drop free for all. You're not nose diving out of nowhere back down to the ground. No, you slowly going down the same way you went up. But yeah. Today's reading was very interesting. I love this for y'all. I'm definitely going to repost this to my YouTube page. So if you missed today's live, you can go there. It's Mika Balance, just like here. A similar, profile icon. Sphinx. I was born in my past life, and I had the memories to prove it anyway. I'm about timelines and timeline shiftings tomorrow. Because tomorrow is Friday. And true love is curiosity. And the more you know about yourself, meaning your soul and the past lives that you've been in, you show yourself and your soul that, hey, I want to know you. What have we been through? What are all the memories that we hold? I promise you, if you ask, you gonna know. You gonna find the fuck out. Because I asked, and I fucked around, and I found out. But, I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Look, I don't know why this shit is still buffering like it is. But I have an ebook to finish, so it can be ready for you guys on Friday. Okay. So, in conclusion, today's reading was about y'all using your divine discernment. You all have it. You all have claircognizance. You all have clairvoyance. Claircognizance is divine knowing. You just know some shit. Okay? You ain't got shit to back it up. You ain't got no books. You ain't got no science articles, nothing. You just know. You just know something ain't right with this and you don't want to participate. A lot of y'all use that back in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. And then in 2023 and 2024, you got the justification that you didn't need back then. But you was like, all y'all bitches that call me crazy, look at this. Look at this shit that they telling y'all ass now. Oh, sorry, our bad, our mistake, you know. You live and you learn. Bitch, you know how many people died from your mistake, allegedly? Pat yourself on the back that you weren't one of them. Y'all, it's war out here. And these motherfuckers aren't making casual mistakes. But when you trust your discernment and you're willing to be out here looking naked, just looking like the weird one, walking around buck ass butt naked, where everybody else got clothes on, like, bitch, what's up with her? Somebody need to lock her in the insane asylum. They looking at you like you the crazy one. But you have to be comfortable in your nakedness. You have to be comfortable at being looked at sideways, because when I tell you, the shit's gonna be worse than 2019, 2020. Because that commercial, that Foot Locker commercial or something like that, where it starts off as like a small little TV box in the corner featuring some type of news anchor talking about how the world is in chaos and the Messiah came back and the motherfucking aliens and earthquakes and natural disasters and zombies, everything, everywhere, all at once, bitch. Everything, everywhere, all at once. That same commercial that they was showing you zombies and showing you spaceships in the sky, beaming up, and earthquakes happening simultaneously, and then you got krakens and octopus tentacles snatching motherfuckers up out of the sewers. It's gonna be way worse because that shit is going on all at once, and they're gonna hit y'all with so much just so you can, like, shit, bitch, just anything to just make this all go away. Please, I can't take this. Where's the Messiah? The Most High is you. That phrase, higher self, it is the God, it is the Most High that governs your reality, because you are a piece of the all. You're a small consciousness of the all that is the God particle, or the God consciousness that is connected to everything in all dimensions, everywhere, all at once. You're just a small part of it that's having its own personal experience. And you're supposed to govern yourself throughout that experience, throughout that journey. You are your own Most High. If someone showed up in your reality saying that they're the Most High and you're supposed to listen to them, you should be like, I mean, no disrespect, miss or mister, whatever the fuck you are. You can govern your reality, but I'm going to do my own thing. Because my intuition is telling me that I need to go do this. Okay? And also, before I leave, quick crash course on true intuition. Right? Because I go over this in my book. Visions. Right? Just like how you can imagine a memory as clear as day from a year ago, from 10 years ago. That is what you call a vision. If you can see what the person looks like, remember the scent, remember the smell, that is a vision. You have clairvoyance. Congratulations. Because when you receive a divine message, that vision comes to help interpret the meaning, what, where, why, and how of that divine knowing, of that divine feeling. When shit hit the fan in 2019, and I was like, I don't know that shit. The images that came to mind were oddly moments where I was in school and I was the oddball out. And I was okay with that. I interpret that as I'm going to have to sit in this shit because a lot of people going to be questioning me right now. And I'm cool with that. And then I had a vision of what else? Some movie or cartoon about I want to say it was about some zombie shit. Yes, it was Umbrella Corp. It was about Resident Evil. Bitch, fucking 6-7 years later, now we in the motherfucking Umbrella Corporation. What they talking about? Saying, oh, zombies is coming, bitch. And they think it's because of the needle shots and this, that, and the third. Look, I gotta get out of here. That's crazy. Still buffering, bitch. I am going to download this live from there and I'm going to post it on my YouTube page. Okay, so if you want to take the time out to copy and paste the link in my bio, you will see the link tree that will directly take you to my YouTube page. Or you can take the time out to just, search Mika Balance, because the Sphinx there is also my profile pic. Okay, so I love y'all. I have had far too much wine and I have far too much work to do once I get out of here. So I love you. Bye bye. See you tomorrow or whatever. Or whatever. Gonna get naked. So grounded. So happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, joy.